Parish Council.
Thank you.
Kate, you have a lot of experience, having previously served on the council for quite a few years. Obviously, it's not a case of once bitten, twice shy with you then.
Well, no.
I'd also like to take a moment as the new chair just to say a few words. We have all been elected by the parish of Buckland Brewer. We are therefore seen as being capable of discussing and debating issues and subsequently making decisions on behalf of them all. I'll just wait. Councillor Mills, come in. All right. Okay. I've just welcomed Kate on board to the good ship Buckland Brewer Parish Council.
I remember from the past.
Okay. I'll just, for the sake of Trevor, just start that first bit again. We've all been elected by the parish of Buckland Brewer. We are therefore seen as being capable of discussing and debating issues and subsequently making decisions on behalf of them all. The parish council has signed up to the Civility and Respect Pledge, and this means politeness and courtesy in behaviour, speech and in the written word. It also means respecting the values, people's feelings and views, even if sometimes you don't agree. We are all from very different backgrounds and experiences, which is a positive thing when working as a team. Finally, I would prefer to be called Chair rather than Madam Chairman, Chairman or such like. Okay? Apologies for absences, we've got everybody here. Any declarations of interest? No?
Only maybe the dispensation at the end that'll affect us all, will it?
Yeah, no, we've got a dispensation form for that.
225.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's, on 228 A, that's not my thorn.
That's not your Thorn
Yeah,
Cottage.
no,
No, that's fine.
sure, yeah.
Okay, minutes from the last meeting held on the 8th of May. Has everybody read those and happy with them?
Madam Chair,
Chair.
do apologise. You've got here, I've emailed around.
Can you use your microphone, please, George?
Oh,
Thanks.
Do apologise. Memory's gone. Yeah, on item 3, it's minute here that I was, and I've emailed everyone around, that I was rude, and I am disputing that fact that I was not rude, and that I was doing a statement I was entitled to do so. And if I did upset anybody, I apologise, but I was not rude. As far as I'm concerned, I was not rude. Thank you.
Okay. Is that
So
right?
I am disputing that one on the meeting, on the minutes.
Joe?
I'm asking for it to be removed.
Well, I think at the time it was said, wasn't it? And I think it was...
Sorry, well, I disputed it at the time.
You did say, I'm sorry if I came across as rude.
No, I didn't.
Did you not?
Sorry, no. No. I was not rude. I was doing as the council lawyer said. I could make a statement. I was interrupted several times, and I was only doing what I was allowed to do. So I'm asking for this to be removed from the minutes, that I was rude. I was not rude. There's a debate you have, a discussion you have, and that's what you do. But I never saw, in my life, I haven't sworn on this thing, and I never said anything bad about anybody. And I don't know why it was put in there. It's something that has been added in, stated on there, but I was not rude.
When we talk about being rude, it's not just about swearing.
I know that. I know that. I made a statement on that. I know that. It's how you treat people.
Yeah.
So I was not
Or
rude.
your tone.
I was not rude at all.
If that's your perception, that's fine. That's
But I
fine.
want it removed from this minute.
Yeah, we can have it removed.
Thank you.
Apart from that, is there anybody else that, is everybody else happy with the minutes? Obviously, that's got to be, I can't sign those at the moment. Which one was it? Was it that one or that one? Was it the first one or the second one?
Sorry, someone wants to try Chair.
Yeah, second one.
So it would go on that the Chair stepped in and asked Councillor Hayward to add an item to a future agenda.
Yeah.
So that'll be staying if we wanted to or whatever.
So
I'm not for us.
it can be said that Councillor Hayward objected. Would that be upset? Would that be okay?
Yes, but objected to what? No.
Right. If we go back.
Sorry, when I said it, clerk, I take. Oh, I did not object. It looks like I'm objected. I have pecuniary interest. I declare any interest at all times, even I haven't. I think I have or whatever.
Right.
So I declared. I got no problem with that.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Is it turned on?
It was turned on, yes. I think you'll have to keep picking me up on that. Yes. It was turned on. You got to hold this thing to your mouth. You can hold it to your mouth. Yeah, yeah. Apologies.
You found it?
Yeah, I found it.
It's just that sentence.
It's just that sentence, isn't it? So shall we get rid of the Councillor Hayward objected and was asked not to be rude? Yeah. The other ones are all okay from the first part, yeah?
Doesn't affect any of the minutes or decisions, does it really?
No. Oh, I forgot the year then. Right, okay. Can everybody hear me? Good. Public participation. Clive, you never disappoint. Would you like to have the... Yeah, that's what we're going to do.
Can everybody hear me? Good evening. Is there any development on the public consultation on the industrial units, please? Thank you. Potholes. Interesting development this week. Just below Lower Tithicate, there was roadworks. They closed the road. And I stopped and spoke to the guys because they were closing it as I drove through. They kindly let me through and asked them what they were doing. And they said they were actually filling a pothole in a new method. They've cut it out completely, rectangularly, and they put tarmac in, but they finished it off with recycled car tyre. It looks quite different, but it's been done very well. So that was a rather interesting development. Have they? I haven't seen it before, but it was a well-repaired pothole. Thank you.
Does it look like it's going to last?
It does. It does. Yes.
That's the main thing. Thank you, Clive. Can you use the microphone? Yeah. No, please, because everybody at home needs to hear you.
Having said that, I noticed that we have little yellow lines around our potholes coming up the road tonight. So does that mean somebody is coming to do something?
Yes.
They did 1.5.
Did they?
They couldn't have done 1.5 of them, and then they went away.
Yeah, highways are here in the street at the moment. I'm in prime viewing position to see it. And they are definitely on the move down the road.
Oh, good.
So,
Well, can I just say, I've got the microphone. I came up to the post box this morning and I was rather disappointed in the side of the road going back down through the village. There's so many dandelions and grass. Does anybody clear the side of the road near the pavement and the walls? Or do you have to...
I think you'll find that that's actually owned by the people who own the houses.
Oh.
I know what you mean, and it is owned by somebody.
Oh, shame. It just looked a mess, that's all.
Everything that's in the curb is really down to the Highways Authority, and they haven't got the money
come and do it
And
anyway.
I try to do the bits outside my house, but you can't go on forever.
No, that's right.
My neighbour's rewilding outside the front, and you know, I used to cut it, but she prefers to have it rewilding, and that's her choice. But I do try, and other people do the same.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
Keith?
I know it wasn't officially a parish council do, but thank you for all the councils that helped towards the beacon. I felt it was a great success. Just a pity all the councillors couldn't turn up and help with it. But I think it bodes well for the next one, which I think will probably be next May for VE Day, I would have thought.
Certainly will. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was a good turnout.
Anyway, thank you
yeah.
for all you've done.
Thank you. I think Sally will give an update, won't you, at some point?
Sorry, I missed.
Renate. Anybody else? No? Clerk's report?
Yeah, just a couple of things. I'll start with the industrial unit since that's been asked.
I need to declare an interest in that then because my son rents that field.
It's all right. This is only a project update, so there's no conflict there at all. But thank you. We just received a project update this week. So there was an ecology walkover survey conducted at the end of May. And that has actually highlighted a few things that are required in terms of ecological testing. So there needs to be an assessment for the presence of dormice and lizards, and the recommendation is that that is conducted this summer, but again in spring 2025. So obviously the council at some point are going to have to decide whether to do the public consultation ahead of results or just defer it until next year. But obviously it's a year before that will happen or that will be completed. There have been a few tests conducted with regard to the site, road access, speed assessments of vehicles coming around that corner, which was all part and parcel of that, and electronic site surveys. But it's the ecological testing that's still outstanding. I've had some correspondence relating to a Morocco UK power project. Now, it doesn't impact Buckland Brewer directly, but virtually the whole of Bideford and bits of North Devon, there are pockets, there's about 15 different maps where there is an impact of this project. There is actually a public consultation. I'd not heard about it until very recently, and the date of that has been extended. So if you do want to have a look at that, it's called X-Links Morocco UK Power Project. There's lots of information on there and you can participate in the consultation if you want to. And I have brought the maps in if anybody would like to have a look at the maps. As I say, Buckland Brewer is just outside any of those areas that are highlighted for the project. And I think everything else is on the agenda. So, yeah, that's it.
Lovely, thanks, Joe. 217, decision whether to join the Rural Village Services Group within the Rural Services Network. We all had an email. Has everyone read that? What's everyone's views on that? It's £50 per annum plus VAT. Obviously, we can claim back the VAT. Anybody's views on that, George?
What advantages? I didn't fully read the email. I do apologise. I saw it and went in one ear or the other. What advantages to Buckland Brewer Parish Council would we obtain by joining this?
I don't think there's actually a lot, is there, Joe, for us, from what I've read.
No, I think it's one of those, it's going to be quite a high level kind of talking shop, really, for want of a better description. There is a more local one that I think Wolseley are trying to get off the ground. They've had a change of personnel, so That's been slightly delayed, but I think that that one might be more beneficial to the council, to be honest, because it will involve local parish councils as opposed to everybody.
Is it going to cost us any money to join or not?
Yeah, £50 per annum.
Oh, right. Well,
Bearing in mind we're trying to save money,
Yes.
I personally,
no,
my personal belief is that we don't.
unless someone can show a big advantage for Buckland Brewer Parish.
No,
Buckland Brewer
having read it,
Parish,
probably not.
no.
I think we get the newsletters sent to us anyway, don't we? So we know what's going. So we got some idea about what's going on. I guess it's when they have projects and discussions about things which could impact on several parish councils. It's a bit like, I guess, the stuff we used to do at Dog, but we don't do that now.
I take it we can always come back and look at this at another time if need be. But shall we just have a vote on whether we go ahead with this or not? Those 4? No? So that's a no. That was easy. 218. Decision whether to cancel the parish online subscription, which is £80 per annum. Has everybody read the email that came out about that, and you understand what it is? It's basically our access to maps, which we probably don't use, to be fair.
Again, I missed it. When you say, what is it? Sorry, I didn't know it belonged to it anyway.
It's a project where where if you join in, you can put on all your kind of parish fields. You could put on the footpaths onto maps and create the maps. That's what it's kind of about.
How long have we had it for? Have we put our maps onto there yet?
No, we've never done anything with that.
So
I did
that's
the training
right.
3 years ago,
Yeah.
and we, as a council, we've never done it. We've never followed it up.
So we spent £240 for. So anybody in favour with us staying with that?
Before you
Oh, sorry.
go on with that,
Okay.
I'll just borrow that for a moment. Well, it was about a year or so ago, I put on Facebook that it would be a good idea to have a map for the people coming into the village or into the parish, so that they would know where some of these scratchy bottom lanes are and all the rest of it. Patrick Bloss did say that he had a program on the computer and that he would try and get something off the ground, but it never happened. But the Facebook response was very positive. People were very interested to want to know where these various little lanes were, what the names of these odd fields are that the likes of the locals know, but the incomings don't. And I think it was a good thing.
But do we need to be spending £80 per annum?
If somebody wants to get the thing off the ground, yes.
I don't think that's the map system that you want. I think what you're talking about is probably going to be relying on local knowledge.
An ordnance survey?
Yeah.
Could we not put it on
But
Facebook
that's-
or something
that's-
like that? Sorry.
That's what David just said. It was a
Oh, what about Facebook?
no, it was a map that for putting field names and stuff on.
But if it's never been done, could we perhaps put it on the Facebook page that we've got set up? Could we do that?
Well, it needs to go on every
And
everywhere,
website.
so that everyone can access it.
Right,
not just
Yeah.
I
Facebook.
see.
Go on,
If
Anne.
we-
Sorry, did you want to say something?
Say that often I've listened at home into the meetings, and sometimes I don't, because I don't know where these places are, it's hard to actually picture. So it's not just about walking, it can often be about what you're actually talking about as a council as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody says there's an accident at Hooper's Water. Well, where on earth's that? A lot of us do know where it is, but there's a lot of people that don't. And where is Cross Park?
Well, I don't know. The water company seems to think I live there. But still.
Through the chair, surely we talked about putting a big map with all the names on in that big thing several years ago, and it was never done. If you spent and if you've got a big map put up, an ordinary survey map put up, yeah, it can cost a bit, but we wouldn't be paying £80 a year for the next whatever. So I don't know that if you paid that, the maps would do what everybody would like to do. But if we had a big map and then we as a parish council or plus whoever, put the names in on, and then get it put up, or even then take a photo of it and put it on Facebook, whatever you want. We can do it rather than spending 80 quid a year. But I don't know what the 80 quid a year gives us.
Yeah.
So if Joe's saying this isn't the right programme, then it's a no-brainer,
No.
isn't it?
Yeah.
So bearing in mind it's not the right programme, and we can obviously look at doing a map for, obviously we have new people moving into the parish. It is useful, exactly what Annie has just said. You know, for people who don't know where Scratch Face Lane is.
I think they're all called Scratch Face. My sat next to it, so.
Sorry, Dave.
We've
Dave.
Oh, shit, thanks. We've got the big map, which is down there by the phone box, which kind of in kind of some details tells where various places are in the parish, and kind of says about the footpaths. And I don't know if that, because I think at one stage we were going to add something more to it, but I don't know if
Phil was asked to redo the map. The problem with the map is he'd more than happily repaint it and add bits on, but Richard Dorset made the frame for it and we can't get it out of the frame. So Phil has got like the plan of that map which he could add to, but not in the present situation it's in, because we just can't get it out of the frame because Richard's moved. So.
Hang on one sec, his lordship's there still going. Go on.
I'm still
Yeah.
going.
Yeah, going.
Something that I noticed on the Litland Parish Council page is that somebody has gone around and hand-drawn a map which shows all the where all the houses are and the names of the houses. So when somebody stops you in the street and said, "Oh, where's that to?" you can say, "Oh, there it is there."
Are we going to propose that you do that?
No.
We could. So
I'm just saying what's out there.
We could, if we redo the map or whatever, and we could put it out there instead of in the box or whatever, in the village or a place that's used like this or somewhere else, but you know, whatever.
Richard?
Yeah, I was just going to say that, you know, we're in the throes of looking at having a new website. You know, could we have an interactive map built into it?
Joe? Fair enough.
Something that could be asked, maybe.
Maybe we can bring this back for a discussion at some point and put it on an agenda and discuss that. But coming back, thanks, Phil. Thanks. Can we obviously have a vote? Anybody in favour of keeping the parish online subscription? No. That's a no. The 219, this is the decision whether to formally accept the website quotation. That's been emailed to everybody. Has everybody had time to look at it? It has come in cheaper than we first imagined. Has everyone read it? Oh, okay. So you don't know what it says about the quotation? Okay. I think, Joe, has it come in at about 2... Well, oh no, can't, no. Oh, too late.
It's covered by our grant, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's the important
Could,
And is this a local person? Are we allowed to know
yes, it's a local person.
the name? All right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we have everybody hand show for in favour? Yep, that's a full. Yep. Decision whether to clean the war memorial and remove the remembrance wreaths. Phil, this is your baby.
Right, this came about with the D-Day celebration. Hen and I thought it'd be a good idea to rush down there and throw buckets of water at the war memorial and things. But then we thought about it and thought, is this a wise move? Should we perhaps ask the parish council whether we're doing the right thing? Now, it seems that I've done a little bit of digging around. There is a War Memorials charity trust who will give you lots of advice as to what to do with your war memorial, and one of the advice is do not use detergent. The only cleaning you do is with a soft brush and a bucket of water.
I'm glad we didn't do that last Monday.
No, absolutely. So this is something I think we need to actually sit down and look at and investigate which is the best way forward.
Dave?
I think we have had a grant in the past to clean that, I think. Yeah, we have. I thought we had. Because there's not only the kind of war memorial itself, it's the railings as well, which have been painted in the past as well. And I think there has been times when we've touched up the lettering, because sometimes the lettering comes off, doesn't it? But it has been a bit haphazard. People have done it over the years, but not on a regular basis.
You found a grant?
There was a grant in 2014, I think. It was quite a long time ago. But also there was a professional stonemason that came out to clean it and to replace all the lettering that it sort of worn away. I have found his details and I have given him a ring and he's quite happy to give us an estimate if you want me to. I just phoned to see if he was still around, but I'm more than happy to get an estimate from him if you want me to.
I think it's important with the war memorial. It's a focal point of the village, and it's an important memory, and we should look after it. So shall we defer that for you to find out a quote? Is everyone happy with that? George? Yeah,
What
grant.
about the grant?
Yeah, we're looking
You
to
can
the
apply for the grant.
Yes.
Anyway, to actually put in for a grant anyway, so it would help that anyway.
Is there a deadline we got to apply for it by?
28th of June.
Ooh.
So we can we apply and get some sort of quote to get it off?
Yes.
We can.
Yeah, I'll
Thank you.
do it now.
I was reading it today, and you've got to have started the work. It's not.
Yeah, you're on.
Not for cleaning like that. So I thought, well, that puts the Khyber on it.
What's it for then?
Well, it is for, but the time you should have started work on it to get the grant. So I think we were a bit late.
Well, there are, you can actually apply through that, and it does say that you can apply for partial costs through that, and you can actually do it retrospectively or with a quotation. But also there are lots of different grants available, so we can actually look at other opportunities. Even if that one doesn't come to fruition, we can look at other opportunities.
Shall we defer this so that we can do something
Why don't we apply
and apply, yeah, and
see what happens?
yeah,
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
yeah. Okay, everyone happy with that? Yeah. Well, yeah. Let's just see what happens there.
So Anne, get a quote from this chapter.
Yeah, you'll get a quote, will you, Joe, for the chap? 221. Decision whether to place a copy of the meeting minutes in the lending library is suggested at the annual meeting. Anybody got any thoughts on that?
Could do. See why not?
Where's the lending library?
Post office, post box, the old telephone box.
Oh, right.
Sorry, not the post box, you wouldn't have fitted in there. No, Is it?
Don't they go up into some case that it is at the moment?
The minutes are quite, the minutes can be quite a lot and they're not fitting in the cabinet.
Oh, I see.
That's been the problem, hasn't it, Joe?
Yeah, there's only space for about 2 pages.
Yeah. So it was sort of talked about at the annual parish meeting when Mrs. Blight brought it up, and it was sort of suggested that possibly the lending library has it in. Yeah? Everybody in favour of that? Yes? Good. 222, decision whether...
Madam Chair.
I was going to say,
Chair. Hen. Chair. Whatever.
yes, I've had a complaint from the parishioner to say, why aren't we putting our notices in at Thornaleigh Moor? We've got a notice board out there,
Oh, that's a good point.
and it's not being used.
Same issue. Have they got a lending library? Or a phone box? There's a proper thingy, but can it be open for people to get it like a slidey thing so people can just, if they're all pinned in there together, and then they can get it out and read it, if you know what I mean? Does anybody know? Is it a locked one or an unlocked one?
I've seen it.
Can we look into that, Trevor? And then we'll come to a decision, and obviously try and sort that out. It's knowing where to put it, isn't it? If it's 6 pages long, it's probably not going to fit in there. We'll look into that. I'll drive up there and have a look. Put a seat, yeah.
In a plastic something and pin it.
Or you pin it inside, yeah. We'll look into that, yeah. Where am I? 222. Decision whether to send a representative to the North Devon Records Office on the 18th of June. Any volunteers? Well done, thank you, Dave.
I've been here 3 other times.
Well, that's why I looked straight at you. Did anyone else want to go?
Yeah. I'm away that day. We pay a subscription for that.
We have
Yes.
been given them money to do it. I can't remember. Did we agree to do it this?
Yeah.
We did. Okay, that's all right then.
What was the amount? Sorry, just matter of interest.
£200.
Sorry?
£200, wasn't it?
That's what we've been doing.
All right, happy with that? Thank you. Dave's going to that, Joe. Discussion regarding the reduction of council expenditure in 2024-25, agreement of costs to be reduced and how this will be achieved. Over to you, George.
Yes, since we've put the precept up 61%, there are a few things that we could think about and we can do. Some of it we still have to bring up in part 2 of this meeting. First of all, I'm a snow warden, and we're the only parish council in the whole of England. If the Devon County Council don't come around with their snow machines, which we are classified as a B, or we're 3rd down the list, and it's got to have frozen for 3 days or 4 or 5 days, and we've got to have snow for whatever. And so in the past, we have I've had a discussion with the local agricultural contractor, and he uses lime machines, the spreader machine, and I am very mean, mind with it. And when I think it's going to be snowed in or a lot of ice for a few days, where I do the main routes through for the majority, not all the roads. We can go from Thornaleigh Moor right through to Hooper's Water, and we pick up on that route. We pick up the welfare of animals in the farms, whatever, so that milk tankers can get through, feed lorries can get through. But mainly it's for the parishioners going to work and getting in and out. North Devon, Devon County Council, with their snow spreaders, we seem to be on, no matter how many times I ring up when you can get through, we seem to be way down the list. That's what we've done in the past. Normally, it can vary from, I haven't spent any money this year on it in this past. The previous year, we've allocated about £1,500, I think, every year for it. So you've got a choice, bearing in mind what the precept is. We either cancel this right out and we use that money for something else, or we use, if we haven't spent any money or part of it, we can put it in the following year's budget to use up on some other thing. So it's really down to whatever this parish council is thinking and whatever. It has been successful in the past, but I can't overemphasize. We put it up, precepts gone up 61%. It just depends on what you do, what you think. But basically, do you think I've not done enough of it, too much of it? But I am very, very mean on it.
I think we should carry on doing it. How much salt have you got left, George?
We got the free salt, and we got a gentleman out there on doing it, storing it, and it takes them. It can do the damage on the floor. And I've got 5 ton. I'm allowed to have 5 ton of salt free every year, and to keep the cost down, it comes in ton bags, so that he can just put it in. Because I can't see him wanting to do if he got to do cut 150k bags, so it's in ton bags, and it goes in one ton at a bag, and it's usually about 1 bag will do the route through.
Could I just raise a point of order here, please, because the budget has been agreed. It was agreed in January. We should not be discussing anything to do with the budget until August. There is a 6-month rule.
You're right, it has been decided. Are you asking to look at how we can make savings during the year? Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm looking at, bearing in mind what we put the precept in. But if Councillor Ainsworth wants to put that in, then we'll see what the parishioners say. That's what we're doing.
We shouldn't be discussing it.
Well, I'm sorry.
No disrespect, but the rules state that when you've made an agreement, you shouldn't revisit it for 6 months. We've made the decision. We made the decision 3 or 4 months ago.
What did we make? What did we agree? Did we agree to kind of put that into the budget?
Yeah, it's in the budget.
Yeah,
It's in the budget.
It's in the budget. Yeah. Yes, it is in the budget. I'm not saying we alter it now right away, but if you start discussing it 6 months' time, then you want to think about it. It's going to be 12 months down the road. I brought it up, bearing in mind what we put the precept up, to think about it. I'm not saying alter it now, but if you don't want to discuss it, Councillor, that's fine with me.
George, have you got salt over from last year?
I said I got 5 ton,
5 tons.
and I always make sure I'm top right up. And I go through to the Devon County Council, and the snow warden's the only one who can talk about it on that. And I'm classified as a snow warden, but anybody else wants a job, I give it.
I think there's 2 sides to this, and I think we can look at this in when the 6 months in August, and we can look at what we can do.
Can we put it on the agenda?
Yeah, go on the agenda.
Fair enough. So we'll cancel the whole discussion about the reducing the cost of the what's on this thing. Council expenditure. So we delay that until August, then, yes?
Yes.
Fine.
Joe, can that go on August's agenda? Um, 224, decision whether to reinstate posts outside Buckland Brewer shop to prevent blocking the bus shelter, or whether to grind down the protruding metal and fill holes. Sally? Is that your little...
Yeah, it was discussed last year about, I don't know if people have seen it outside the shop. There was stakes there that was a metal hole, the ones that fold down. And they are still there, and they are trip hazard. One's got a padlock on it, which is a trip hazard, and the other one's protruding about nearly 1.5 inches out of the ground. And obviously cars are parking there now, and now it's just prevent cars parking, so pedestrian and wheelchairs can get to the shop more than anything in the bus shelter. So the question is, do we reinstate the posts, the stakes, or do we cut the metal bits off and make it safe? The posts are between £300 and £400 each, I think.
Did we establish, though, didn't we, that piece of land is a no man's land? It doesn't belong to anybody.
No, it don't belong to Chapel. It doesn't belong to anybody.
It doesn't belong to, yeah.
But just the word of caution.
No. Yes.
Just a word of caution. If it doesn't belong to the chapel, there's a chance it's highways.
No, I think we checked it out.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just that obviously you can't work in the highway. But if it isn't, that's fine.
Okay, so this land doesn't belong to anybody, but I think we have a duty to make sure that it's safe.
Since we put it there in the first place.
As we,
Yeah, okay, go on. Yeah.
as we put it there in the first place, then anything happens to anybody, we're liable, and I don't suppose
Precisely.
our insurance will be there, so I would think the quickest thing way you can cut the thing down, level and filling up, the better.
Okay, is everybody in favour of cutting it down and filling it in so it's all nice and safe? Oh, hang on, sorry, Trevor.
The reason to put them there in the first place, it's for safety. Delivery men come in, they can't get to the shop. People in wheelchairs can't get up the ramp, which is there, the bus shelter and to the shop. And I think they should be reinstated.
Couldn't we put, would it be
Microphone,
cheaper, would it be cheaper to perhaps paint something there? Get rid of that, fill it in, and paint something there. Would that be cheaper? Then,
You see the way
Yeah, you're on.
you see the way the van's parked there now. Paint doesn't make any odds to that. They drive right over that. So it needs to be a physical.
What happened to the posts?
They rotted off.
Oh, I see.
How long ago?
Yeah.
Or somebody hit them and smashed them. Yeah. Yeah.
Wooden posts. So how long ago was that?
Few years ago.
Right, okay. So they could be wood or metal? They were wood.
Apart from the insurance part, I mean, if somebody went to you could buy a square post and put in, it's not going to cost £300-400. But you've got a insurance responsibility even when you put these posts up. The safety aspect of it, yes, you have a moral duty, but a legal duty with what's there, and if someone does damage their car on it and nobody owns it or we've put it up, you're going to lay yourself wide open for it. I understand where Councillor Mills is coming from, but it's going to be, you're going to have to get your permission from your insurance company to talk about it, and you're on no man's land, so nobody's going to claim anyway, and it's going to be the people who put those posts in, you're going to be liable if something happens.
I think as they've not been there for a couple of years, and obviously, pardon? It's not caused a major problem. I don't think we've had any complaints from the shop that nobody's been able to get up.
Sorry,
Possibly.
Sorry.
Is it possible that if you put new ones in, that they're just going to be knocked down again? They're going to be knocked down again if you put new ones in.
Probably, but most people see them there, especially if they're painted bright red. You know, it just depends. You've got Councillor Moore's point about for disabled, and you've got what I've been worried about is the insurance policy claim.
Has there been any complaints in the shop about people? Yeah. Oh, have you? What have they said? Oh, really? What, a lot of complaints? Oh, okay. And that's because the van's parked there? Is it a van that's visiting the shop? Okay. Right.
Could we put a flexi so it's there?
Yeah.
I don't know where you get them from.
They probably cost, don't they? They're
Probably.
metal.
Or electric fence.
Yeah, quite like the electric fence idea. Or maybe who's ever in the shop has a cattle. I think for now, I think, as Lucy's just said, that it's only one person. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Could we put a rope? I mean, it sounds daft.
No, somebody will trip over the rope.
No, if you hold it up here, to keep an area for the disabled people, and everybody wants to walk up, so it goes around and goes up there. Could we put it sort of on a fencing stake, flexible fencing stake, just drive the point in and put a rope up, just to show, I mean, if somebody's going to drive their van or whatever, and they're going to go through the rope, they're determined to do it. but it's just trying to come to some sort of thing for health and safety in the shop, and without nullifying, or you have to tell the insurance policy, whatever. But
You've got some nice cones up near your house. Couldn't they go down there? I think we could borrow them. I'm just thinking on a temporary basis, why don't we put plastic cones there? Oh, go on then.
I don't think that person meant to knock in anybody.
Right.
And that's the issue. They didn't
Yeah.
realise what they were doing. So
Right.
there was some visual prompt not to park there. I think people
How about we put plastic cones?
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
I put a plastic cone on top of it once, and then somebody nicked it.
yeah. They're up outside Richard's house.
Not outside mine.
Are there any signs up there on the fence there to say, please do not park? Is there anything there?
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, Keith?
Where they are, I don't think anybody's putting any new posts of any kind. They wouldn't be able to use what's there anyway, what's existing there, because they're more or less obsolete. I mean, there's a lock on one and nobody's got the key on it, and the other bit sticks up about that much. And I don't think you could use it in future for another post. I think you'd have to completely do the whole thing.
I think personally, I think have some plastic cones there to see how we get on.
Job done.
And yeah, and then we get rid of those trip hazard. Does that sound all right, Trevor? Does that sound like a good... Well, it's a start. It's a start, isn't it?
And could we put a beeper in there so if they get carried away, it goes beep, 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 beep?
Yeah, I like that idea, yeah. Okay, all those in favour of grinding those things down, can't think of the word, and putting up some plastic cones. Yeah, everybody?
There is only one problem.
Oh, go on.
It belongs to Mr. Hewitt. He's got the key to it.
I don't think it's going to matter, though, if they're ground off.
Right.
We could ask him. We could ask him for a key or whatever. We could ask him.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
not,
Yeah.
You can talk to the gentleman. I can ask him if you want.
Thank you very much. That would be lovely.
So what do I need to ask him, Trevor?
For the key.
For the key to what? I didn't realise.
The post.
The padlock for, well, so that they could lift them out.
All right.
You know.
Yeah.
There was on, apparently Ray Oil put them in when he was working on the tractor.
Okay, that'd be fine.
And Andrews supplied the posts.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we've all voted that we get rid of the posts and we'll get some plastic cones.
Did we, sorry, Chair.
Yeah.
Sorry. We just said now I've got to ask Andrew. I've got to ask Andrew for the key, see what he says.
Yeah.
Now, you say we're voting on that. Did we ought to discuss it with him first and vote in a month's time? I know for the shop it's going to be, or are we going to get on with it?
Let's just get on with it, personally. Yeah? Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Let's not have procrastination. Everyone's happy with that? Yep. 225, approval of dispensatory personal interest in order to maintain a quorum. Can we sign, if you whiz it down that way and then, and you?
No, I'll go that
Oh,
way,
you're going
come
to go
back.
that way. Okay.
Go that way, come back.
Yeah, go on.
Just to clarify, this dispensation will only be applied in the instance that there are not enough councillors present for a quorum. At all other times, if you've got a personal interest in an organisation or a club within Buckland Brewer, you declare your personal interest as normal and you can't participate in the vote. All right, but if there are too few, we will invoke that dispensation, but only under those circumstances. So that's what that dispensation is saying.
This is only just to ensure that there is a quorum.
Yeah.
Yep.
And a quorum is 3 members?
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, while that's going around, is everybody happy just to get on with members' reports? Start with you, Sally. Can I? Yeah.
I just wanted to say a few thank yous, really, to the parish. Firstly is the plant sale. I don't know if Trevor knows how much that made. Do you know how much that made, Trevor, the plant sale at the beginning of the month?
Sorry?
The plant sale, do you know how much that made at the beginning of the month?
£2,200.
I just wanted to say thank you so much to the people that organised and spent hours, obviously, preparing and growing those plants. And that goes to the church roof, is that right? Yeah, well done. The second one is the safari lunch. That was very well attended. I think it was about 150 people, I think. Haven't got the cost, how much they made for that, but again, well done to everybody involved.
Probably knows.
You know?
Find it for you.
Okay,
Ah,
I'll
because
come
I know
back
that,
to
yeah. You know, and there's a lot of people involved.
£3,000. I know it was a lot.
It was, I think.
That's
it was
very
3,000,
good. Yeah. And lastly, the beacon, really. And that raised £180. £90 of that's going to the Royal British Legion and £90 to the playing field. So well done to the parish.
Yeah, thank you.
And the baker will be coming along.
Yeah, and that's next month. Yeah.
Yeah, next month. George? George?
So what am I?
Members' reports?
Oh, members' reports, sorry. No, mine's been put off until next, 6 months' time, whatever. One thing I would like to say, yes, I'd like to thank Jane Lowe for all the work she's done on the Parish Council and also for all the work she did on the website. She did 6 years and didn't cost a penny. She hasn't been thanked for all that. And she did when she was on the Parish Council, so I think she deserves thanks for the six years she did. Didn't charge anything to set up the old website, which has now been updated.
Thank you. Kate, I doubt you've got...
Sorry, one other thing.
Oh, go on then. Yeah.
There was someone put up in last week. I did give a bit of false information when he talked about tractor speed, for which I apologise. There's 2 tractors now. A yellow thing with 4 equal wheels would do 75k an hour, 75 kilometres an hour, and there's a great big dull green fence would do 65k an hour. Now I don't know whether, I think it's 5/8, maybe around the 40 mile an hour or whatever. But anyway, I'm being updated and going to kilometres an hour, and the rest of them do 50k, which is 32, 34. But there is 2 big tractors that will go to 65 to 70 k's an hour. Apologise for that.
Thanks, George. Kate, have you got anything? No? Okay, I'll give you time. Trevor?
Yep. A parishioner has said to me about the state of the signpost at Bowden Cross. It's a fine advert to the parish, isn't it? When you come in,
Oh, yeah.
it needs replacing. Can't think of anything else at the moment.
Okay, thank you. Richard? Oh, sorry, not Richard. Phil. I bet you're going to tell me you haven't got anything.
No.
Oh.
With regard to the beacon lighting, I'd just like it noted a thanks to Robin Davies, who unfortunately was in the village hall and was bounced by our clerk, who roped him into setting up the sound system up on the field. And he spent a lot of time and a lot of effort, and I'd just like to say thank you to him.
Yeah, I did see him the other day and thank him for all his time and patience with me. Richard? No? Can you use your microphone, please?
Of course, I'm sorry. I spoke to Mrs. Lowe regarding, Jane Lowe, regarding the stain for doing the chairs. I just wanted to follow it up. But she basically she donated it, which was very nice of her, and she gave it to the village. So I'd just like to thank Jane for that. And I've also had a parishioner complain about at Thornhill Moor, as you're driving down across the cattle grid, going towards Cozes, people are starting to park on the left-hand side. She said everybody always parks on the right-hand side and the ground is really hard, so that's fine. But on the left-hand side is really, really soft, and it's starting to get like all marks everywhere and digging it up. And she was wondering whether or not we could put a laminated sign on, as you're going down over the cattle grid, there's like white gates, whether or not we could put a big sign on the gates there, whether or not we could do that, just to say no parking on the left side. Also, as it's a new tax year, I didn't know whether or not we could put in for a dog bin. They were asking whether or not we could, as it's a new tax year, we could possibly try for that, and see whether or not the council would, be able to pick it up as well, whether or not we could try for that as well, if that's at all possible.
I had a discussion with another parish councillor from a different parish the other day. Remember, we got George as a snow warden. We did have a discussion some time ago about a road warden, which was a road warden, okay, which was someone would go and do all the training, health and safety training to do it, to fill in potholes and do things like that. We took a decision at a time that we didn't want to get involved with that. But I'll just tell you what he does, because he is the road warden, he and another councillor up near Tiverton. He doesn't do the big holes, he leaves that for the council to do. But he fills in the potholes which don't meet the criteria to have anybody to do anything about them, and so he wanders around the parish just doing that at times. So it's something just to think about at times, because all the equipment and everything is provided by Devon County Council, and it's covered by their insurance, and they do all the health and safety training to enable that to do. It's just something. If we ever felt that we would like to get involved with that.
Has it got to be a parish councillor?
No, I don't know that. That's what I wondered.
I was just wondering if Clive had some spare time that he would like to go out with a yellow tabard on.
No,
you don't?
no, he's saying. But, I mean, I don't know. I can't remember the details of whether it's actually going to be a parish councillor, but I don't know.
I'll be worth looking into. It's definitely worth thinking about. Yeah. Yes, sorry.
I would still stay well clear of that. Devon County Council is always looking for money. And there's a problem you've done, you might be insured and all the rest of it, but they'll soon put the blame on whoever does it, and I would still stay well clear of it. Sorry, something I forgot just now. Can I come back to that?
Yes.
Thank you. I spoke to, on the farm we've had all these environmental schemes and all the rest of it, which is way above my pay grade. But the government have got free advice. You can apply for it by 2025, and then they can give, because we've got an SPI number on Thornhill Moor, and possibly on the rest of the individual fields that we own, and there's all these grants and whatever available, and which pick up free advice on stuff that's way above my pay grade and all the rest of it, and the knowledge out there, that we could ask RH Hicks & Co. to apply. They can't actually get the free advice, but we can ask them to get someone here to talk to us and go through it, what we got, what we can do, and you talk about all these environmental schemes and carbon capture and all the rest of it, And there is more money to be earned out of Thornleigh Moor. And I don't know whether it's linked in these schemes that you've got to have free advice. It gives you free advice, then you can go for extra grants. And I would advise that we ask RH Hicks & Co. to go and ask for the free advice, and they will get someone down and look at it, and then we can then make up our mind who you want to do it for, to set it up, whether it's RH Hicks or whoever you want, whatever. But there is an opportunity for Parish Council to earn money on that. And anything from the government that's free, it may be in because of this election, but that doesn't affect this because this is in situ now. And I just read that Andrew Haywood has said that nothing's happening. Well, on these new schemes that they haven't brought out, nothing is happening. But what is out there is available at the moment. So I would advise that we go for that. And the second point I want to make is going to be, it's still up in the, now I don't know whether it's 6 months sabbatical or trigger off now. It's on the Stevenson Hunt, trail hunt on Thornleigh Moor. On the thing on the higher tier scheme, what we are at the moment, it says there's no sport.
Yeah,
well,
can I stop,
trail
can
hunting
I
is
stop,
a recreation.
Can I stop you there? Because that's not on the agenda and it's not being discussed at the moment, and I don't think that
Well,
really
then
comes
we
under
ought to
members'
put it
report.
on the agenda.
Yeah, you can put it on the agenda. I think at the moment we're waiting.
I am just asking that, but bring it up for the agenda.
That's fine. You can bring it up for the agenda,
Right.
but recreational.
It's for recreation.
I know, yeah, and I've read it myself.
Yeah.
But that needs to go onto the agenda, George.
Fine, next time. That's fine. So can we put that on the agenda, please?
For the
It's from Hicks & Co. and Natural England. So that's what we're still waiting on.
But it'll still be on the agenda discussed at the time.
Well, Joe sent round the email that was sent out to. Did you see that one?
I saw that one.
Yeah. So we're waiting for them, for Hicks & Co. to come back once they've contacted Natural England.
Fine. Well, I've read that document through and through, and sometimes you've got to make your own decision. But I think this should go on the agenda. So when they come back or whatever, we haven't got to wait to put it on the agenda again.
But why are we? But if we put it on the agenda, what are we trying to achieve there?
To discuss whether we agree with it as a recreation and to be able to forward as something has happened for 1,000 years out there.
Yes,
I think, can we agree that it goes on the agenda as soon as it comes back?
Yeah,
as soon as it
I
comes
agree.
back from Hicks and them, it goes on the agenda that month.
Yeah.
As soon as we've got an answer, I think that.
Have you got any idea when Hicks & Co. is going to reply?
How long's a piece of string?
It was only last week, last week or the week before? Last week, I think. So I will follow it up, but we may still have to submit a formal response, or a formal request rather, to Natural England, depending on the assessment that's given.
It depends on the wording of the thing, the contract we signed anyway. But yeah, right.
I think what you've just said is the best way. As soon as it's come back, it goes onto the agenda. Nobody's being awkward here. I think we just need to find out from Natural England what we're allowed to do and what we're not allowed to do, and stay on the right side of what we're meant to do.
Well, they have come back and said
agreement.
there's no sport. We asked once before, and they said there's no sport and no something else, car racing or whatever goes on out there. But this word wasn't. But anyway, you can clarify it with Natural England and get a clarification. Fine.
And once it's clarified, George, it's clarified, isn't it? And then we know where we're going with everything. But, you know, at the moment, I don't think anybody wants this to be held up any longer than it has to be. Okay, has everybody finished their reports? Anybody? Obviously, District Councillor's not here. New planning applications on 228, 0418, it's an out one. Land adjacent hire Thorn Cottage, Buckland Brewer, online application with all matters reserved for number 1 agricultural workers dwelling. Has everyone read that one? Everyone in favour? Yeah. Oh. Microphone.
Yes, I'm of the opinion that they own the land around the old chapel and and now they're going out in the sticks to build a workers' cottage. I mean, I would like to see it, you know, like we said, people sort of started building everywhere. Keep it together a bit. If it was in the adjacent to the old school and the chapel and the council houses, you know, rather than being off half a mile away. But that's my opinion, that it's, I have no objection if they were putting it close to what's already there, the accommodation and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks, Trevor. Everyone in favour of the... Oh, no, you don't say something?
Yeah, I actually didn't see
Right.
Higher Thorn Cottage. Where, is that, that's where? That's...
It's what? Near Silklands, isn't it?
Oh, it's not,
Yeah.
it's not the Thorn up here, Thorn across?
No.
It's up near Wheelstone.
Yeah.
Up round there.
Yep.
Up where?
Vealstone.
Oh, right, up there. Yeah. No, I see no problem.
Yeah. You all right? Yep. Okay, everyone.
Sorry, what are you voting now? Which way?
Sorry. 4. Yep. Joe? Um, 0434 agricultural building near Tidicott, replacement dwelling and retention of a reduced size barn following the approval of the erection of replacement dwelling. Has everyone read that one? Any problems? Anyone want to say anything? It is, yes, basically. Those 4? Yep, all 9. 1141, variation of condition 2 of planning approval 0158. Is that? Oh, hang on. No, forget that. Forget that one. It's part of the other one. It's me and my varied focals have just read a line. Sorry, 0485, Buckland House, Buckland Brewer, erection of a barn for storage. Has everyone read that one? Yeah, I'm fine with it. Anybody got anything to say about that? Anybody? No? Great. Those... No, fine. Those for approval of it? Is that a no? Is that a no? Is that a no? Yeah. 8. Over to you, Joe.
I will put a caveat around this because the audit is in progress, so the previous year's figures haven't been ratified yet. So as long as my calculations are correct, then the opening balances are are there. But that's the caveat. Everything else, we've had quite a lot of money in. The reason for that is the first payment of the precept arrived, so that's why the receipts are so high at 13,000. So according to our own balance, it was £36,816 and 7 pence in the current account. The bank is obviously still a little bit behind because there are some outstanding checks. And then there's savings of £1,686.86. So the available funds in the general account are £38,502.93. Do you want me to do restricted funds as well? Yeah. Right, Thornhill Headmore. This is restricted for use in Thornhill Headmore only. So again, there's a slight difference between our own cash book and the bank balances because there are some cheques outstanding that haven't been cashed yet. But the balance there is £14,786.26, with a further £26,000 in the savings account. So £40,786.26 overall. Payments, yeah. Yes. Yes, that's where some of the cheques are outstanding. 2025, yeah. March 2025, yeah. So payments, obviously a few more this time because there's the sort of tail end of April and up to the beginning of June. So there's 2 lots of payroll, April and May. The allotment water supply, the air ambulance, electricity, and again that's 2 months. Village green grass cutting, we just had an invoice, but it does cover you know, quite a long period of time, so that's since last September. And then we've received the professional fees and disbursements for the industrial units project to date. And our insurance renewal is this month as well, so that's the annual figure there, 323.77. I've also got professional fees in for Thornhill Headmore. That's for the completion of the stewardship submission for the year. And we've had receipts of the precept, first payment, an allotment, some allotment rent and a footpaths grant. That was last year's grant. There was an email earlier. So I've asked whether the same process is being followed for this year, because there seems to be a bit of confusion about how much we're going to get for this current financial year. But last year's grant was only paid on the 2nd of April. All right, so it's a little bit behind. And what I omitted to say, sorry, in correspondence, because it was earlier today, there was a thank you to Richard for his hard work on the footpath, so apologies, I forgot that bit. So that's it. Any queries? There are a couple that are due now that I'm going to invoice. There's a couple that are due now that I'm going to invoice. Yeah, I mean they're all, you know, they're all due at you know, according to the agreements. Some have come in. No. Yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah, I will do, but yeah.
Do apologise. Thank you, Chair. Have you? I got an email from. I got an email from Jim Slocum. Has he had his last 6 months invoices for what he's paid?
No, I don't. No, I don't know. Yeah, yeah. Well, I'll talk to you about that. I've just had an email from him myself.
Sorry, there's an email sent to you. This is Jim. I have baxed over the 6 monthly rent for Blackhorse Field. Could you please send me a receipt for this and receipts for all the rent paid in the last 12 months?
I don't think this is really appropriate here now.
No,
we sorry, but this isn't.
Sorry, is it you'd like that?
Well, you should have. You should
When
have.
do you want me to bring it up? The members' reports?
No. This shouldn't be brought out in public. Names and fields and things.
Well, the names of the fields can be brought out in public.
Well, no, you've just named a parishioner.
You've just named a
and you're
parishioner.
reading his email out.
You what?
You've named a parishioner and you're reading his email.
Yeah,
and it's not really appropriate for now anyway, George. If you can send it across, but I have received an email from him.
You have?
This week, yeah.
So fine, it's being dealt with?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Joe, the grant from the Footpath Initiative, they're processing £150 for us, which is the standard grant. But in the past, we sort of negotiated for for back lane, monies to cover that, and I noticed it's very overgrown at the moment. So when you do apply, I would apply for that again, because basically they're paying us to do their work for them. And
Submitted. I submitted 550.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, that 550 was to do with buying materials as well.
No, that was 8.
They didn't pay that.
It was 550 for maintenance and 800 for equipment.
Did we get the 800?
I haven't got anything so far.
Right, okay. Because we're going to need a strimmer.
They've only done last year, so
okay.
this.
Yeah. Can I ask about the allotments as well? The allotment payments is normally due in March, and I know it's just come out now. Did we agree last year, because of the water issue, that we were going to give a free few months, or
No,
did we just?
We were just late. We were just late last week.
So the payments that are going out now really only go to March? It will be to March and not till this time next year?
Yeah, it would just be a year, and then because.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is that we all pay the allotments late because of the water issue, but it should have been in March. So next year we would ask for payments in March, so that it's sort of at the end of the financial year.
Yeah, it'll be it'll be the start of the following year. Yeah.
Start of the following financial year. So that'll be April, won't it? So April 25, yeah? Yeah. Yeah, let's not talk about 2025. Has anybody got anything else to say or whatever? Just want to say thank you everybody for turning out tonight. Sorry, yeah. Can somebody propose and second the...
I'll second.
Okay, fine. Sorry, I was so excited about finishing that I forgot. Yeah, sorry, thank you very much for turning up, and the interview, the meeting is finished. Thank you. Interview.